because the president insists falsely that climate change is a hoax, people who are subordinate to him feel obliged to go after this greenhouse gas reduction fund. The problem is that the manner in which they have gone after it reflects the actual weaponization of the Department of Justice in ways that the prosecutions of President Trump never saw. So what they had to do was to try to cook up a way to freeze the fund. And the way they tried to cook up to freeze the fund was to create a pretend criminal investigation. And then they could point to the criminal investigation and tell Citibank to freeze the funds pending the criminal investigation. The problem was there's no evidence of any crime. And that became apparent when the ask went from interim U.S. Attorney Martin to the chief of the criminal division in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, and was told by the chief, there's no crime here, I cannot do that. Rather than stop, what he did was force the resignation, fired the career criminal chief. This is a guy who's never been a prosecutor before, and he's firing his criminal chief. So that's a pretty big red flag when you get an answer from the career staff saying, boss, there's no crime here, and then you fire them for telling you that. And a federal judge took a look at the best they could do and said, there is no evidence here of any criminality, period. So you have the magistrate judge who shot down the warrant, and you've got the federal judge who shot down the argument that there was fraud or criminality here. And yet they persist. So the aberration here from proper prosecutive process is really telling. And both in this committee and in the Judiciary Committee, I'm going to keep digging at this. Because over and over and over again, there are multiple red flags flying of prosecutorial misconduct, of legal violations, and ultimately probably we'll find out from civil litigation, either under 42 U.S. Code Section 1983 or in a straight defamation case, what the heck went on. But I can tell you, Madam Chair, as somebody who's had to sit in that seat as a U.S. attorney, everything about this stinks to high heaven, and we need to get to the bottom of it.